pissing him off, and you're pissing us off. Now, where is it?
Guys, I seriously have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even know where I am. Come on, where is it, you little bitch? I swear to God, I have no idea.
Oh, that's Scott Grimes. Isn't he the best, you guys? The absolute best. What's going on? Welcome to Sock in the Orville live show, pre-show, Splosion, plus Gently Falling Rain. We didn't have that live show last week. We were talking about it all right now. So much happened last week. So much is going to happen tonight. And I can't tell you how excited I am. I've known about this episode title, oh gosh, for over a year now. A Tale of Two Topas. Oh, what is that? Is it real? Is it really going to be called that? Obviously, a Mocklin episode. By the teaser, it's obviously a Mocklin episode. We're going to be introduced to the new Topa. Topa is older now, a little bit older, about to be entering the Union Point educational program to become an officer someday. Kelly is helping him out. There's other stuff going on. Mockless is not too happy with Kelly guiding Topa through a Union Point situation, admission. But I'm guessing that Clyden will be angry first before the rest of Mockless even knows about it. Are we going to find out in this ancient temple that the Union is not excavating but exploring? Are we going to find out what really originally happened to the females on Mockless? How did all of this start? Is that even Mockless? I assume it is. It looks like Mockless, kind of, maybe with a little bit cleaner air, a little bit more realistic looking. We're going to have to wait till, well, I'm watching the episode tonight. Many of us will be watching the episode tonight. It starts at 11 p.m. my time tonight on the Pacific Coast. It's at 9 p.m. I wish I could be there with the cast over at Seth MacFarlane's place watching tonight's episode, but it's just too far away, you guys, even though I was given an invite by Scott Grimes. Thank you, Scott, so much for inviting me over. I would love to watch it with you guys, but hey, you know, things are, you know what they are. We don't have shuttles that can get me there in just a couple of minutes. I'm sure it doesn't take very long to get there in a shuttle, but airplanes are a little bit slower and they're a little bit scary, as we saw in the episode Mortality Paradox. What's going on, you guys? Are you excited to talk about all the wonderful things going on in New Horizons? Yep. Amanda Stevens, thank you so much for that super chat with a super chat sticker. How's it going? That's funny. That, what is that? Is that a bird or is that a pear? Looks like it's got a headband on, which reminds me of working out. I don't wear a headband when working out, but I actually have to go and work out at the gym right after this live stream. My family's going to the gym tonight. It's that day of the week, so that's what we're doing. What if Topa was never given the gender change and they gave Bortus a male baby? Or maybe a second Topa is a female clone. We haven't had clones yet. Very good point. That was one of my original thoughts when I just found out about the title of tonight's episode. I was like, are there going to be actually two Topas? Or are we going to get a tale about the Topa that we know and love and the Topa that they may find inside of this temple, writing on the wall, someone named Topa. Topa maybe was originally a female name. Oh my gosh. Mocklins will freak out, you guys. John Smith says, oh, and thank you for that super chat, Mark Lawrence. Very much appreciated. I just remembered something. Seth MacFarlane as booked on one of the 9/11 planes. Yes, but he missed the flight. I wonder if that was on his mind when he wrote the plane part of that episode. Well, when I was talking to Scott, he was talking about all the fears are basically fears of Seth MacFarlane being killed by a giant monster, being in a plane crash, drowning in water, and there's a monster under the water. You know, he's got a big imagination his whole life. I'm sure when he was younger, he would think about getting killed by a monster. Absolutely. Seth MacFarlane, if you guys don't know, was scheduled to be on one of the 9/11 planes. If you don't know what 9/11 is, what's wrong with you? 9/11 planes, but he missed his flight, and so he survived. He should have been dead. He would be dead if he made his flight, but he was just happened to be late, and now he survived. And we got all these wonderful things that he's created for us to enjoy. Kilderock says, I tweeted about that very thing when that episode aired. Yeah, lots of us know that story. He's told it on at different occasions. But yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that plane situation was written into the episode was absolutely because of what could have happened to him. I'm not afraid to fly. I'm just afraid to go to airports. Just because they suck. Oh yeah, Seth is likely an arachnophobe as well. Absolutely. If you think about the episode Firestorm from season 1, spiders and a big old spider were part of that. There was regular tarantulas and there was also a spider monster. Also, you'll notice there was the fear of being isolated from that Firestorm episode, which translates to the staircase inside of a void that was in the Mortality Paradox episode. So some of the fears from the Firestorm episode did kind of show up in the Mortality Paradox episode. The Randall, the giant troll monster that wants your milk money, the giant spider. A lot of things translate. Jeff B. Seth is likely an arachnophobe. Loki's Morning of Mischief. JP! Orville Rocks, brother. Long time no see. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're back, Loki. Very good to see you. I'm really hoping, I'm predicting that tonight's episode will also get caught up with Rena Owen, who plays Havina, the female Mocklin that we've met twice already in the previous 2 seasons. I'm hoping she has something to say. I hope we get, every time we have a Mocklin episode, we learn more about the corruption in their government, the conspiracy that goes on when it comes to female Mocklins. What if at least half of Mocklins are born female and they all get the surgery without even knowing it? We do know there's a lot more females born than the Mocklin society realizes. What if it's that high? What if it's the same as ours, half and half? Why are male Mocklins able to reproduce? Did that happen naturally, or was it something they figured out, genetic manipulation, years and years ago? Amanda Stevens, Shadow Realms had spider-like fright creatures. I hate spiders. Oh yeah, Shadow Realms, the arachnids. That's another fear. That was a scary episode, taking on sci-fright genre. Those are arachnids. So, in video games, I hate arachnids. If you're going into a cave, there's always going to be spiders to fight. If you're going into an ice cave, there's always going to be ice spiders. Eskimo spiders, basically. I don't even think Eskimo is a proper term anymore. Inuit. I was gonna say Alaskan. Oh, let me press a button for you guys here for Jake Davis. Males hold their pee better. Yeah, and what's going on down there? From the episode Geloja, it very much appears like Mocklin's males have penises, though they lay eggs, which makes me think maybe they have a vent like a chicken would, which just takes care of all the business, all within that one vent. But I'm assuming there's a penis because Bortus stood on the edge of a cliff, unzipped his pants, and did his Mocklin thing. Do your Mocklin thing, yeah. But really, I really don't need to know if Mocklins have penises or not, to tell you the truth. So that's a question we'll just leave up in the air, and I just won't care if we ever get an answer to that. Missed the ninja forever, the OG ninja assassin. Who else thinks Sympathy for the Devil is going to be about the Krill and mainly about Talia? She's already set up as going further down the dark path. Well, from what I can tell, Sympathy for the Devil appears to be a World War II time travel episode where the Orville crew go back in time, or something that resembles that era on Earth. It definitely looks like Earth. It definitely looks like Nazi Germany, and it definitely looks like they're going for the concentration camp thing. We'll have to wait and see if that really pans out. But from all the concept art that I've seen from it, that I posted on the community page today, I posted 4 concept art things from it. It looks like World War II Germany concentration camp. A lot of it takes place in a old bakery. If you look out the window, you can see old World War II era vehicles, dress. And if you look at the wall, there's posters on the wall on some of those pictures, and they're all written in German. Very strange. I mean, also, it could just be an environmental simulator situation. The Orville, while they have traveled in time a little bit, especially in the Priya episode, they went to the 29th century for about 10 seconds. Maybe this is a full-blown time travel thing. Maybe Machins just have a hatch that opens and an emergency slide comes out. They might. We don't know how they evolved. But I'm hoping to learn tonight a little bit more about how their society evolved, their culture. So if a male Mochlin hooked up with a female Mochlin in a traditional way, hey girl, you want to get traditional tonight? Could the female Mochlin get pregnant? Yeah, what if it happened where female Mochlins lost or never had the ability to get pregnant? We don't know what the situation is with those people. I've always had the theory that the female Mochlins, because of the conditions are so harsh on Mochlis, that when they were, evolving way back in the Dizzy, their culture was evolving, their bodies were evolving, that it really became survival of the fittest. And those who were not as fit, as strong, were probably shunned, taken out, killed, because they weren't as strong as the males. The females would be a little bit weaker. I assumed that they evolved to start killing females, and then once they got technology, they learned how to make it where they didn't even need females anymore, and then they started going the surgery route, and the keeping it a secret route. Whereas I bet you hundreds, thousands of years ago, they probably just killed females because the conditions were so harsh. Oh, wow. Survival of the fittest. If you ain't as fit, you must have quit. They quitted the females. I'm sure that doesn't make any sense, but it rhymes well. Ailing or Aisling Salisbury, thank you so much for that super chat. You're helping to keep us alive all season long, so we can keep doing Talking the Orville for not only tonight's episode, but the following 5 episodes and beyond. Because even after these episodes are finished at the beginning of August, there's still, for a little while, there's going to be a lot to talk about and really make some videos to really close out this season of Talking the Orville the right, most informative, most fun way. Brainstorm, Orville Halloween party in Vegas to celebrate the renewal. Hashtag renew the Orville. PSJP, don't worry about pronouncing my name right. Used to it. You said that before I even started trying to pronounce it right. Thank you very much for supporting this show and supporting this community. I'm also trying to figure out things to do. We talk about this sometimes. Things to cover. I need to grow. In order to keep doing this, I have to grow beyond the audience size that I have right now, but still make everything appropriate for the Orville audience. I'm thinking about going to TED next, Talking TED with Scott Grimes, Seth MacFarlane joint. A lot of people from the Orville are going to be working on that in the interim. And then, of course, if more Orville comes out, if we get that renewal, because people are just loving this season, we'll keep up with that as well. But maybe I'll be doing a bunch of videos following the career paths of everyone involved in the Orville. If they get a show, we cover that show. If they do something else, we cover that a little bit. Just cover Seth MacFarlane stuff, I guess, because I know that Seth is not going anywhere. He's always going to be giving us stuff, and I really feel we have a really good chance to get a 4th season. He's up for it. The cast and crew are up for it. The audience is definitely up for it. I have never, with the previous 2 seasons, I have never seen so much praise for this Orville universe, for this show. I mean, it's not only become the first 2 seasons, it was a great sci-fi show, but now this season, with the adjustments they've made, they have become the best sci-fi show, one of the top sci-fi shows ever made. So good for them. Hopefully it'll be good for us, that we don't have to close out with this, because you know how the Orville does every season. There's certain stories that we follow, the Mocklin story, the Talia story, things like that. But they only give us a little bit each season, a little bit more of the story. And then next season, a little bit more of the story. This season, we're getting a little bit more of the story. Hopefully they leave it so there's more to learn, so that we can learn more next season and the season after that. I do know that we are getting Yaphet back in tonight's episode. There's going to be some Yaphet in tonight's episode. Can't wait to see Norm do his thing as our favorite jelly. R.I.P. Norm MacDonald. When we get the chance to miss you, we will miss you. But until then, we're going to enjoy you as Yaphet. Jeff B. thought the Mocklin Lagoon removed all doubts. That good old Bortus's porn lagoon. That's right, Medallion. Hashtag Forville. Hashtag Moreville. We want more. Is it time to send pickle jars? I don't even know if we should go pickle jars this season. We don't really talk about pickle jars on the show anymore. Or the show doesn't talk about pickle jars. Might be banana time. Sending a bunch of bananas will be a much more dire situation than sending nice jars of pickles that can be put on a shelf and they'll be okay for a long time. Bananas, you got to take care of that. You got a ticking time bomb when you got bananas.
Oh, wow. Sweet emotion.
Jeff B, thank you so much for that super chat. Jalo Jalong and Prosper JP. Hashtag Moreville. I'm just happy that there's so much to talk about. So many videos, so many situations to dive into from this season that can also be applied to previous seasons, like we were talking about Firestorm and Mortality Paradox, which we can also combine with Mad Idolatry. Lots of things to get into to contrast and compare. You can even compare to similar storylines that were done in other sci-fi shows. Compare and contrast the Orville with other sci-fi moments from our history and our present. This shiz is bananas. Bananas. Turd Ferguson. That's not my name. I'm sorry, Turd Ferguson. Yeah, what? Yeah, how about salads? You send salads. That's a ticking time bomb right there. No, really, the thing that will really make the difference is just keep watching and getting other people to watch. The computers will be renewing the show. The AI that counts the views and goes across social medias and counts the people talking about the show. Oh, Amanda, send in Jaloja jars. Oh gosh, that would make a statement. Oh yeah, Thomas says avocados, they're only ripe for 5 minutes. That could be going the Yaphet angle. We could all just send in green slime. We must appease the Kalons, counting the ratings at Hulu. That's right. It's all about the Kalons. They're the ones in charge. Tonight we're going to see the Kalon. We've seen the Kalon a bunch this season. Sometimes real, sometimes not. Or multi-phasically pocket universe real. However you want to picture it. but we're going to be getting another shot at seeing the Kaylon tonight. I don't know if it's a Kaylon episode. You remember in the season 3 trailer, there's that shot of the Kaylon coming up on the screen saying "You will surrender or you will die," something like that. And is tonight that episode? I have no idea, but I do realize the Kaylon, who we're at risk with the Kaylon, we're at risk of losing them as part of the Union because of the whole sanctuary situation from last season. Will this be the episode where they're like, "Oh dang, we better do as we're told when it comes to this because the Kaylon will take us out"? Maybe they were saying, "Oh, we can handle it. We make all the weapons. The Kaylon can't hurt us." Also, the Mochlins are going to be a huge target to the Kaylon because they make all the weapons. So they're going to be stop number 1 for the Kaylon. If they missed Earth, that didn't work out for them, so they retreated. I'm sure their next thing is taking out the Mochlins. Yeah, I got to send Hulu a Kermit puppet. I don't know if I don't want to spend money on a Kermit puppet and not keep it. Brian Payne. Oh, are you related to Lieutenant Payne from the episode Firestorm? I'm so sorry for your loss. Seems like they have removed a little too much humor. Season 1 was over the top, so they obviously needed to pull back, but I like some clever, funny dialogue. Yeah, I still see a lot of humor in this new season. Not as much. It's more natural now because they're talking about, they're showcasing some very serious situations in New Horizons. I do know, because I've been here since day 1 when it comes to the Orville. I've been here every day since the Orville premiered in 2017. The biggest complaint people have had about the Orville is there's too much comedy. So I think pulling back even more this season to let the sci-fi situations unfold is what will ensure we get more seasons of this, so that it is the best sci-fi as opposed to just a really great sci-fi option. Too much humor leads to cancellation in my view. So I'm not missing it, especially since I still see humorous moments. Now in the first episode, there was humor in it until Isaac killed himself, because you don't want to make jokes after that situation comes up. That would just be tone deaf, right? Usually there's a lot of humor in the episode, natural humor, until the big situation that's going on in the episode takes hold. And even when they still have humor, the main sci-fi situation is so awesome that we don't recognize it as much. But also, I really don't. I rather have more Orville as opposed to a canceled Orville that had more jokes in it. But also, people were complaining all the time. It used to piss me off. People would complain about the humor. I'm like, what? You don't appreciate the humor and the sci-fi? And now people are saying, where's the humor? And I'm like, well, which is it, you guys? Which is it? I'm surprised we didn't see people bitching about falling rain. Yeah, I was surprised at that. Well, I saw some people, but the thing they were bitching about was, let me believe, oh, you didn't even really understand what was going on. Like, of course, in the United States, especially, the right to choose is on fire right now. That's a big topic. But when I watched the episode Gently Falling Rain, which really gave a platform to pro-life, it didn't really give much of a platform to pro-choice at all. It just mentioned it, and then we actually got a lot of examples of the Krill's point of view. And I thought that was very fair, and especially did it in a very neutral way, which was what the Orville's about. This season of the Orville is about coexistence. People say, oh, we can't coexist, but while you're saying that, you are coexisting. There's people I do not agree with their way of life or their opinion. I do not want to coexist with them, but we are coexisting. They're right there. They're across the street. They're at the grocery store. We are coexisting, even though it feels like we're not. And that's what Seth MacFarlane says this season is about. And when they tackle these issues, and they did this in About a Girl very well, which I'll talk about. When they talk about issues, which they do, which is what good sci-fi does, they do it in a neutral way. They just present the arguments on both sides and let you decide what you think about it. They don't tell you the answer. They didn't tell us the answer in Gently Falling Rain. they didn't tell us the answer in About a Girl. I actually, even though I had my own opinions, my own beliefs in the About a Girl trial situation where they're deciding whether to give Topa the surgery or not, I was like, when I was listening to the Mocklin side, I was like, man, I don't disagree, but I see where you're coming from. So I really appreciated the way they handle things like that. And the best way to say it is the most neutral way. But some people did. Some people took pride in it. Some people, in the Gently Falling Rain thing, they took gloating pride. They complained that it was one way or the other. I'm like, no, it seemed more fair to the Krill side to let them have a platform than it did to the Union side. So it was very interesting that they did it that way. But then the very next day, the Supreme Court comes in and just says, we are going to do this. And the world exploded. There's been no pew-pews, but there was a Splosion.
Oh, wow.
Keep the pew-pews away. Let's see. Samantha C, thank you so much for that super chat. Share the Orville. Talk about the Orville. Need season 4ville. Oh, I love it so much. John Burns, thank you for that super chat. On Reddit, they're comparing episodes to seasons. They watch one episode and say, it's not like season 1 and 2, and no Bortus season to season. Yeah, they do that for every show. I see one episode of a thing come out and people are complaining, oh, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. I'm like, there's more episodes of the show that you're talking about. They did that with even Picard. I can't remember what the complaint was. It's like, oh, it's this or that. I'm like, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? I'm like, there's 9 more episodes, right? So the thing that you're wanting to happen or to learn about, you got 9 episodes. And then usually they talk about it in the very next episode. And I just want to go, see, they talked about it. Are you happy now? No, I'm not happy. My life isn't what I wanted it to be. I thought I was going to be a rock star, and I'm older now, and my orgasms aren't as strong. People are like that, you guys. Their life isn't going well, so they complain about anything and everything. Not my opinion. I've been studying it for 5 years. I see it. You follow these people that complain about stuff, and you look at the other stuff going on in their life. Their life's not going so good. John Burns, guest star idea. Brendan Fraser as Ed's brother. Ooh. I've never thought about Ed's family so much. I mean, we met his mother, his fake mother, his and father in, oh gosh, that was Command Performance, the very second episode. I haven't thought about the rest of his family. Does he have brothers? Does he have sisters? Does Kelly have brothers or sisters? It really appears like her father died. I mean, it kind of seemed that way in the pilot episode. I was like, oh, maybe he's dead. It's not solidified, but once the president of Earth, of the Union, came aboard in last week's episode, they talked to Kelly about how they respected her father. It really seems like her father has passed away in action. I don't know, from an illness. I don't know, but he was definitely a member of the Union, and he has high marks with whatever it was he was doing. Maybe he was an admiral. Maybe it was just this really cool party dude that came and did booze cruises for the Union admirals. You never know. Michelle Gardner, Michelle, my friend. Michelle is a long time friend. Oh gosh, it was been 15 years. Very good to see you. Brian Dawkins, thank you for that super chat. In episode 5, we're looking at a lost Mocklin burial chamber. Have a good day, JP. Yeah, it could be a burial chamber. In the episode Mortality Paradox, we learned about Mocklin morgues, where they suspend the body in pods. Oh, Michelle, I can't believe you're here, and that I saw your message. Michelle and I met. Oh, what was that? 2005. We both worked at Starbucks. You were the captain of Starbucks. I was just a lowly ensign at Starbucks, and we became fast friends, and we've been friends ever since. And our lives have changed in so many ways. John Burns, JP, hanging with the Mocklin, watching the Orville, living the dream. We're living on the edge, you guys. Like with Aerosmith. Brian Dawkins, I just wanted to give you an update on Nicola, my cat. I'm so proud of her. And I'm so happy with my life this week. This week, 2 days ago, was the day I was able to retire the litter box. And I cannot tell you how happy I am in my life to finally not have to have a litter box. Nicola now taught herself, it took her a year, taught herself how to use the doggy door. So now she goes outside, she sits in the sun, she hangs out with the chickens, and she uses the outdoors. No longer in my house. My house smells so much better now, you guys. I'm so happy. Michelle says, you were my second mate every morning at 4:30 a.m. Yeah, we were both there very early in the morning. And in a couple weeks, Michelle, I want to talk to you about the Orville. I won't say what for to the audience, but we'll talk about the Orville a little bit in 2 or 3 weeks if you're available. Because you got some Orville stuff to say. I feel you do. George Garcia, Talia, wow, irredeemable? Would Ed be crazy to take her back? I think she is irredeemable. But you can be sympathetic to her, I think. I'm sympathetic to her, but I think she is too far gone. Even if she did good things, it would not be enough to take back all the bad things she did. She murdered the Supreme Chancellor right there on the big old Mussolini podium thing up in the sky on the side of the building. That's not cool, Talia. Not cool. But her daughter and Ed's daughter is cute AF, you guys. I got a bunch of pictures of stuff. Now, it's taking me a while. I don't know when I'm going to have it out. The Orville Companion series episode specifically for Gently Falling Rain, because I'm unhappy with the amount of behind the scenes that has been released so far. I know that they will be coming, but they're not out yet. So that episode will eventually be out when I feel that there is enough behind the scenes. Because if it's a companion series, it's important to me to have as much stuff in there for the fans of the show. So that one might have to wait, but that's okay, because the companion series, they're for the future. They're not for now. I mean, we're enjoying them now once I get them done, if you enjoy them at all, but they're not for now. They're for the future as people keep enjoying the Orville for years and years to come. Otherwise, what I've done with Gently Falling Rain is I just put out little videos with little pieces of what will eventually be in the companion series, but with more stuff as well. Michelle says, yes, we need to catch up. Absolutely. Lots to talk about. I have a idea for one of my podcast topics that I want to speak to you about as well, because I got the idea from you. Medallion says, Ed needs to sing some Elton John to warm her cold, cold heart. Well, he mentioned Elton John in Gently Falling Rain, and she didn't know what he was talking about. And so he had to remind her, Uptown Girl, Elton John. No, not Elton John, Billy Joel. Yeah, we'll get Elton John. Maybe she needs to move to Elton John. But yeah, Billy Joel was the one that they were talking about in Nothing Left on Earth Excepting Fishes. Thomas M. Talia is pretty far down the path she's taken. The Kalon might present enough of a threat. She has to go back to the Union for help. Yeah, because they're not going to be able to handle the Kalon. And once the people realize they've followed her to a path of doom, they're going to turn on her. That's what happens in these types of situations. You come off as a demigod, and it turns out you're just trying to fool the people to get power. And when the Puloja hits the fan, they're going to turn on you, and they're going to turn on you violently. That's just the way it happens. That's the way humanoids are, you guys. But also, it was very interesting because at one point, when the admirals first told Ed that Talia was part of the situation, and they showed him the speech, they said, "Oh, you let her go. She went back. she went underground for a while, and then when she came back, she had all this ideology, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff she was doing, gathering support. When she went underground for a while, it's because she was pregnant. That's why no one saw her for a while. She was pregnant. She was dealing with that situation. And then, after she had the child, she obviously loves the child. I mean, the kid is just cute as a button. After she did that and put the child away because she was ashamed, it was an abomination. I understand in her society that's what she would be told. And that's the way she felt. That's the way other people would feel as well. She went full force in that direction, just like Clyden is so against females. And I think that's because he found out he was born female. So he doubled down on the ideology. I think that's exactly what happened to Talia as well. Man, I hope Clyden is nicer today, don't you guys? Thanks to Avis. Yeah, they need that alliance. And we met Krill, the foster parents of, oh gosh, I can't remember the child's name. It's Adia, something like that. I can't remember. All I know is it means gently falling rain. GFR, we can call her. But I think it's Adia now that I think about it. Those parents said we're part of a group of Krill that think the alliance is a good thing. And also, didn't it make you feel good when the Supreme Chancellor Cronach or whatever, I can't remember what is it, Dory the Explorer, I don't know. The Supreme Chancellor that we met at the beginning, he was totally into treating humans nicely. Him and his whole administration, like, oh, what do you think of Krill so far? That's great. He was interested to know what humans thought of his planet, of his city. I thought that was great. You know, he's like, oh, come to our planet and let's celebrate this together or something like that. I thought that was really cool. That was a really good sign. But then the election happened. Talia gathered support. They lost the districts that they needed. If you know anything about politics, that's how it works out. A lot of people don't know I'm a news head, so I'm always watching the news, political news, government stuff. I mean, I watch hearings. I watch Congress vote on stuff, but I just don't really talk about that stuff on this channel here or anywhere really, because there's really no point having conversations about it with anyone. Anaya, sir. The sun will come out tomorrow. And all the Krill shudder. I love in last week's episode that all of a sudden we're watching Annie 400 years in the future. And the fly, I guess, came back. There hasn't been a fly in here all day. All of a sudden, just this second, I don't know how it got in here. The door's been closed. You'd think it would have been hanging around me the whole time. It's that time of year, you guys. Did Supreme Who's die when she knifed him? I assume that she said it. We don't know for sure. People like that do the stuff she does lie about pretty much everything. But yeah, I assume he's dead. She said his head is in the square. You know, they decapitated him, put him on display, which is what they used to do back in the day. Dictators and stuff like that would do that. So yeah, I assume he's dead. He's done for. Elect to grant immediately emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor. Execute Order 66. No, Directive 21 is what we're doing on the Orville. The Ninja Forever, the OG Ninja Assassin. That I will never abbreviate that. I want to say that every time. I forgot missed though. That's why Talia wanted to take over, because he was threatening their way of life and religion. Yeah, we got she's hardcore into the Avis thing. The Supreme Chancellor, I'm sure, is a believer, but not as hardcore of a believer when it comes to the violence. Brian Dawkins, when you hear them singing The sun will come out tomorrow. There was no male voice. I looked at a few times and was no Daddy Warbucks bass voice. Maybe they went a different way 400 years in the future. We definitely had a Daddy Warbucks character played by one of Dan's people, but yeah, I didn't listen for what the voices were. Probably have Mocklins like it. They have to appeal to Mocklins. So they have to get that. No, that doesn't work. They would only have male voices if it appealed to Mocklins. That joke doesn't work. Sorry, guys. Do we know whether elections traditionally lead to the execution of the losing candidate? In corrupt countries, it does. In other worlds, in TV shows and movies, it usually does that as well. But no, I don't know if they do that every election. I doubt they do that every election. I bet you it's usually a peaceful transition of power. Except for when the cameras are rolling.
Wow, sweet emotion.
Speaking of the Sith, the Ava statue has a Sith Lord vibe to it. Yes, it does. Any big thing wearing a robe usually has a Sith vibe or a Jedi vibe to it, I find. Salvanation. Thank you so much for that super chat and that super sticker. Bravo. Remember there was going to be a recount. Yes, they did, but she flipped everybody to accept the turns. But yeah, some of the districts close, which at least in our government would flip, or my government, everyone's from around the world, would cue a recount. But everything happened quickly. Everyone's like, oh man, she had supporters. People believed the hyperbole that she was feeding them. That's how she gained traction so quickly. She appealed to the hearts of certain Krill. John Burns, I do have a question. The Krill have many planets. In Identity 2, we find that Kaylon has one planet versus the Union in population. You could probably fit a lot of Kaylon on one planet because they don't eat, nothing like that. I did wonder, when we went to Kaylon Prime, it was all cloudy over there. I mean, it wasn't always cloudy, but it was mostly very cloudy. I wonder if that's from industry. I have no idea. But the Kaylon, you could pack a lot of them onto one planet. There's room for everybody, and you can just keep making more. One thing we learned in the Identity, in the Identity Part 1, was that you knock one down, another one takes its place. Also, they're very technologically advanced. And yeah, I assume they don't have any more planets, unless there's some planets in their solar system. They might take that. I mean, they did call it Kaylon Prime, as in this is the main planet. So you can also assume that there are other planets. If there are other planets in their solar system, I'm sure that they live on those too. But we don't know. I just think they're that powerful. Yeah, Union shuttles can cloak. Now, what am I saying? Starfleet, they have access to cloaking technology, but because of the treaties, they're not allowed to use cloak. That's not the case with the Orville universe and the Planetary Union, though Star Trek has transporters, and the Planetary Union does not. It's kind of like a little switcheroo there. One's got this, the other one doesn't, and the other one's got this, and the other one doesn't. But they really Seth did not want transporters because it just makes it too easy to get out of a situation. Very easy to write, oh, you're in trouble. How do we end it? Oh, we transport them out. Done. No, he's like, no, we got to write our way out of whatever situation that we find ourselves in this universe. The Kaylon are the Cylons, right? Yeah, I think they represent the thing that started off all science fiction. Is science fiction started off and kept it up the entire time, especially with classic, a fear of technology. And then as we realized, oh, we can have robots someday, robots became the big fear in science fiction. It started off with Frankenstein, which was a creation of science. And I don't know if they ever thought of robots back in the mid 1800s or early mid 1800s. But they eventually did. And then the Frankenstein monsters became the robot monsters. And now it's social media. Social media is what will destroy us.
Wow.
Cy Winship. Happy belated birthday, JP. Corrupt leaders don't usually hold elections unless they can control them completely. Very true. For the Putin talking to you, for the very reason that they may lose. It was a great episode and good to see more of the Krill. Yeah, I am wondering if we're gonna close out this Krill situation this season, or if they left it open so that if we get more seasons, we can keep going every season with a little bit more. Are the Kalon going to be a big threat this season? I mean, the fear of the Kalon are always kind of in the background a little bit, in the back of our minds. But are they going to have a big thing happen, like with Identity Part 2 when they attacked Earth? Is there going to be a big situation that happens this season? Are we going to get rid of the Kalon this season? Are we going to win against the Kalon this season, like completely? How would that happen? If it does, I'm sure I would think it would happen in the finale, which is an episode called Future Unknown, which is very foreshadowing right there, because we don't know if we're getting another season of the Orville. So our Orville future is unknown. So is this going to leave things open in the hopes that people will be interested enough to say, hey, I want to know what happens. Let's get more Orville. Let's make more seasons. Tonight is episode 5. So after tonight's episode, we'll be right smack dab in the middle of the season. Well, hasn't been enough so far with the first 4 episodes, and then tonight's 5th episode. Is that enough for Hulu / Disney to say, oh, this is working out great? Let's order up us another season of this amazing show. Let's give them even more money this time. Ooh, what would they do with more money? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out. The show, I think, is doing well enough to get more. You don't want to have something that's doing this well in such a saturated market, in a saturated world of diversions that we get every single second of every day, unless you turn your phone off and go to sleep and hide from the world. It's getting a piece of it. It's getting a big enough piece, from what I can tell, to make some more cakes. Let's get some Orville cakes, you guys, with nothing but corner pieces. Let's do it. The word robot, or robot, if you're from the 1950s, is a relative newcomer to the English language. It was the brainchild of the Czech playwright, novelist, and journalist Karel Čapek, who introduced it in 1920. Yeah, that era, 1920-ish, sounds about the right time for that word, robot. Now it's robot. It's kind of like the whole GIF situation. Do you call it robot or robot? Frankenstein was fear of electricity, basically technology. Yeah, will our own technology destroy us someday? Hulu doesn't really have the hits to hang their hat on aside from Handmaid's Tale. I think they need to renew the Orville. Oh, wow. Yeah, you got to have... Somebody said it. I can't remember which one of you said it. But they have a big sci-fi show. They don't have other big sci-fi shows on their channel. I mean, there's some fun ones. But as far as a big to-do that can compete, the Orville is what they got. And I think they should keep going with it so that they can have the sci-fi market slightly cornered. I mean, you're never going to be able to compete, I don't think, with Star Trek because they just won't stop making a million of them. But then they're oversaturating their own market, their own IP. Too much, a lot of times, is too much. So I'm talking to you, The Walking Dead. Too much is too much, and so this is their chance to really have a contender in the sci-fi game. Brian Dawkins, thank you so much. What do we need to do to help you build your presence on Twitter, as it is a good calling card for you to bring people to the Orville? The thing that works the best, and people just don't do this as much anymore because I think we've all gotten used to how social media works. It's all about sharing. Sharing is caring. And as far as helping me keep making more, it's all about that support. There's all the support links down below, you guys. That keeps me going, gives me the time to gives me the time to keep making stuff all day long. Yeah, the dude was hitting on Tala. Talk about that, JP. John Lamar, straight up, in a very nice way, hit on Tala in last week's episode, Gently Falling Rain. One of the biggest laugh out loud moments for me was when Isaac came through the saloon doors and in robot gibberish said there's not enough room in this town for the both of us, wearing the mustache. Got a little scream from me on that one. But yes, John has Sleighing fever, it looks like. Because we know that in the Kelly timeline, Alara and John had a thing, a romance going. Now he's hitting on Tala, and I think something might come from it. I would love the both of them to settle down a little bit. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I'm thinking, I hope that we get more of that. I want to see where it goes. I don't think we've ever seen John on a real date. We maybe the bowling scene, but that wasn't really about him at all. The bowling scene from A Happy Refrain, which was a lot of fun. That was a little date there. We see him do a little bumping and grinding a little bit aftermath in Electric Sheep. Don't do too much bumping unless you want to get all cut up by an albino cactus person. But yeah, I would love to see them settle down a little bit, go on some real dates, see if they're even capable of having a spark with each other. I would like to see John just be a normal dude, treating a woman nicely. I would like to see Tala calm down a little bit and see the softer side of her, so we can learn about the both of them at the same time, because they're both characters I want to learn more about. I hope we really do get to see Tala on Saleya. I want to meet her family. I want to see what she's got going on, what their dynamic is. They are black sheep on their planet because they have all done military service. So I want to see what their life is like and what their dynamic is like. Her mom, her dad, siblings. And then all of a sudden we run into Robert Picardo's Ildis Catan. No biggie. Let's just get Robert Picardo back. Sharing is daring. Yeah, I share Orville stuff all day, every single day. And I try not to put my channel on there, because when you're the creator of a thing and you put your channel on there, it doesn't go very far. The algorithms don't like that. So I hardly ever put my any links to any of my stuff on there, because I want people to see the praises and the fun stuff I'm sharing about the Orville. Yes, Yaphet is in the latest episode. Cannot wait to see what Yaphet is up to. We only got him really just in Electric Sheep when he was part of the crew that was, putting the new plates or whatever in the external part of the ship. Ensign Turco. Yeah, we got more Ensign Turco we need as well. Ensign Jenny Turco. Did you guys notice that John and Tala were talking at the saloon? They were talking about her promotion. A lot of people said, oh, she just got a promotion and we didn't know anything about it. No, they talked about it right there in that saloon part of the episode. I hope John and Tala are a fling. Somehow I think Gordon and Tala could be more of a serious thing. Don't ask me why. Yes, Gordon. Gordon showed that he is lonely. Last season, I think it might have been the Georgia episode, Gordon kind of showed that he's lonely. He's not living up to his potential. He wants more out of life. Do we get some of that in a non-holographic way this season? I hope he gets to see her other ear. Did we see her other ear in the nightclub scene in Lasting Impressions? No. Tomorrow. I know her hair was different. I'm going to need to go back and see if we actually see her other ear. Am I the only one who wants to see Ed and Kelly get back together? The show keeps foreshadowing that. Oh, I think we all want to see them back together. I think Ed wants, or not Ed, but Seth MacFarlane wants the two characters to get together. He just doesn't want them to get together too soon in the life of the Orville story. That should be one of the last things that happens. And if it doesn't happen this season, all the better. Because if it doesn't happen this season, that means they're ready to keep the stories going. And the fans will be like, oh, we need more because we need to see these two characters get together. But I think they are destined to get back together. And I think in the last episode that Kelly saw something in Ed when he started talking about his daughter. That I think that changed her a little bit because they were supposed to, in their previous life, they were supposed to have a child someday. And to see him express this emotion about this child that only met once, you can kind of see her be affected by it a little bit. And then she asks him out for breakfast. Is John Lamar the Liam Neeson of the Union? Well, he does have a particular set of skills. Does he have, right there, does he have a particular set of skills when it comes to women within the Union? Everyone seems to think he has a particular set of skills. Gordon has the CG monster if he's feeling lonely, but maybe a bit clingy. Yeah, Randall was a lot clingy. Clinged him right up off the ground. Gordon and Charlie, oh, I hope not. Oh, I hope not. There's way too much of an age gap, and I always have a problem with that. Get Gordon a woman closer to his own age, and get Charlie. I don't even know if Charlie wants anybody. Charlie's like, I'm good, dude. I don't need nobody. So maybe nobody for Charlie, and a good person his own age for Gordon. That completes him. Justice for Cassius, LOL. Well, I want justice for Lokar. Oh, will we see Lokar tonight? Played by Greg Daniels. The Lokar character, you guys. We're going back to Mockless.
Wow.
The last huge injustice I saw when it comes to Mockless was them locking up Lokar for being straight. Which is sick on their world. Ew, gross. You're straight, nasty. So yeah, and it locked him up. Probably locked up his family too. I would love. And then what if we see Lokar? He gets out and he wants to have a thing with Tala, but now John's kind of invested. There could be a love triangle. What? Charlie and Isaac. We ship it. Chris Ray, thank you for that super chat. The moment between Ed and his daughter was so sweet. It really was. It was a nice, gooey, soft little moment, and that little girl was just so cute. When you guys started bringing up them having a baby together, I have imagined, what would a human / krill child look like? Well, now we found out. Human face with a weird head. And I read somebody ask, I don't know if it was in the comments on this channel or if it was online or on social media, on Twitter, because I'm everywhere, all day, every day, looking at everything. Somebody was wondering if she has a problem with sunlight, like the krill does, like the krill do. They're space vampires. They'll burn up if they get UV rays on them. Is she the same way, or will she just easily get sunburns? It could go either way. I mean, it's not an important thing to find out, but it'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Brian Dawkins, thank you so much for another super chat. If you watch the Orville on Disney Plus in Canada, episodes drop at 3 a.m. Eastern time. Here, let's see, I get it at 11. So it seems like, yeah, you get it. Wait, 3. I have to do time math. Damn it, time math. 3 hours? Yeah, you get 3 hours after I get it. That's pretty good. I remember people in other parts of the world used to get the Orville 6 months after I got it. But now it's just a couple of hours. So usually, you know, a day or two later, we can all around the world talk about this show. T. Stoney, a super chat. Boom! The new season is rocking, of course. Heard any hints on season 4? I have no idea if they're going to renew it, except for I feel that they are. But you know how emotions are, you guys. I'm not thinking with my head. I'm thinking with my Orville heart. But I really feel, and I know they're up for it. Medallion gets it at 12 midnight Pacific time. I get it at 11 p.m. tonight Central time. Sometimes I stay up all night to watch it. Sometimes I wake up early in the morning. I watch it and record it and start dissecting it and trying to figure out what to do with the latest episode. This season of Talking to Orville has been nice because I kind of have a plan of the type of content. So usually I get up every day and I know what I'm doing. So it's great. And then I still have things happen where I'm like, oh, I didn't even expect this, and I have a thing I didn't expect that I could put out. It's great. So I'm trying to put out something 5 to 6 times a week. So far I've kept up with it really well, and I have no doubt that I'll be able to keep it up all throughout the summer. In Canada, Medallion clarifies, the C ticket, what if she holds the key to the krill being able to overcome bad exposure to sunlight? Oh, that would be very good. She would keep power for sure if you have something like that. Hey, what's up, Taylor B? My big mouth says emotions are sweet. Kit versus Car. Who's your favorite character in the show? Mine's Gordon. Mine's Kelly. There's so many to love, though. I've always liked Kelly the most. And I don't mean that in some weird boy way, dude way. I mean, as a character, is what's going on with her, the way she sees the world, the things that have happened to her. She's my favorite. Taylor B says, we get it midnight tonight. After midnight, we're going to let the Orville all hang out. Who is your next interview? Well, I was hoping for Michaela McManus. I've had some Orville people trying to do scheduling with her for me, but I have not heard back, and it's been a couple of days. I did talk to Scott. What was that? Oh gosh, that was Thursday. I already put out that interview. I have some more interviews I haven't put out yet that will be still coming up. But every week they ask me who I want to talk to after each episode, and every week I tell them who I want to talk to and why. And sometimes they're able to work it out, and sometimes they're not. I'm very lucky this season. I just wish I had more time with the people that I'm doing interviews with. I usually get maybe 10 to 15 minutes, so it doesn't leave as much time as I would like. But I really enjoyed my latest interview with Scott Grimes, because the way I like to do interviews is completely off the cuff. I find I get more information, I get a better conversation when I do not prepare anything. So as opposed to the first interviews I did last month, it was very limited time. So I wrote out questions, but it works out better when I do them off the cuff because it's more of a nice conversation as opposed to, hey, what about this? An episode for the 30-second mark when this happens, because they usually don't open up when you're too prepared. When it becomes an interview, people don't open up as much. All right, Antiderivative Jill says, wearing my Seth Trek shirt today. I'm excited for the new sci-fi adventure. Yes, we have 6 more adventures, Orville adventures to have. Tonight, A Tale of Two Topas. Next week, what is next week? That would be episode 6, so that's Twice in a Lifetime. And then the episode after that is From Unknown Graves. What graves? The episode after that is Midnight Blue, and then the penultimate episode is Domino. Will that episode feature the domino, the linchpin, the thing that you knock this down, it knocks down all the other stuff? And then the finale, Future Unknown. Kit versus KR, also similar to Data's personality, says Michael Mitchell. But yeah, I wanted to get Michaela McManus, who plays Talia. I have a lot that I want to ask her about her character, but I have not heard back from them. So we'll see after tonight's episode. I'm going to try to talk to, after this is a Mocklin episode, so I'm going to be trying to talk to Peter Macon or Chad Coleman. I mean, I actually do have an interview with them that I was going to use for tonight's episode, but if I get another interview, I'll probably put it out separately. John Burns says, ciao, going to Coffee and Chuckles where I live. Hope to one day see you and shake your hand. Thank you so much. We'll shake some hands. Shake hands with everybody. Do some daps, some fist bumps, some handshakes that we've prepared for, boop, 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 all that stuff. Some Splosion pew-pews. Pew-pew! That's a pew-pew Splosion shake. Kit versus Car. Isaac is quite like 7 of 9 in Voyager. Well, everyone is like Spock. All these robotic type characters all come from a Spock, a place of Spock. They're all meant to replicate a Spock type logical character for the other characters to bounce off of when it comes to acting and points of views. Data was Spock. Tuvok was Spock. 7 of 9 was Spock. Who did they have? Very different, but maybe Odo was kind of a Spock character. T'Pol's a Spock character. I mean, it's very obvious when they're Vulcans, of course, but they have other ways of doing it too. Oh, nice. I hope so. My Big Mouth says Domino will feature the Caliban again, and we'll find out blah blah blah, and we'll find out about their gods, at least from their. Their gods are called DiGiorno and Sparrow. Uh-oh. Let me look here. Hold on, you guys. I see a Splosion of corrupt botanists going on here. Let's do a little bit here. There, we'll do that one. Okay. And we go to boom. All right, I had to get rid of a problem child here in the chat. Do you think development of the next season would be approached differently now that they know from the beginning that they are on a streaming service? Oh, that's true. How much of the streaming service thing did they know about when they were writing the scripts? Did did it all happen at the same time? Did they make the move before? No, I think they were written first. And they probably just kept writing more. Once they made the announcement, that was 2019, in July, that they announced that they were moving to streaming. I think some of the scripts were either done or at least outlined. And then once they knew, they're like, let's write it real big. I don't know. That's a really good question. I hope I remember to ask Seth that the next time I talk to him. Because I do plan on talking to Seth again. And I also want to talk to him when Ted comes out, because I want to help them bring attention to that show as well. And I'm sure he's going to want to talk about that show as well. Let's see, there we go. Okay, that fixed the problem. Sorry guys, I was getting distracted. Let's see, where was I? Oh dear, the spammers about. You know you're doing well if you get spammers. I think I was able to erase everything from them. Unknown Graves from Kalon Homeworld? Kalon Prime. Was Kalon not a planet? What? Oh, but yeah, that's a good point. Unknown Graves from the dead biological Kalon. Oh, that's a good little connection right there. Kalon Prime. Well, there's Kalon Primary, which was the head Kalon, and then there's Kalon Prime. I could have swore that phrase was in there. But you know, Kalon. I would think if there's any planets in their system that they would be Kalon planets. More of Dan's poetry. We definitely need that. We have not had enough of Dan. Dan hasn't done anything amazing this season. There's still a lot of episodes to go. I mean, we haven't even seen Clyden at all this season. I'm sure we'll be seeing him tonight. But we have seen Dan. We've seen Yaphet. We've seen that newer bubble face character. I'm pretty sure that bubble face character probably lights up if you have a black light. Curtis Tate, how's it going? Curtis says, hey there, out on the road today. Just got the notification. Jaloja indeed, Curtis Tate. Dave's Quest. It felt like the first two episodes had those ad breaks and then adapted. I'm really curious on them using the freedom more. Yeah, there was kind of like little breaks where you would assume there would be a commercial. But also there are commercial packages with Hulu. So maybe the people that have the lesser subscription, maybe that's where the commercials for them come into play. Which is great, because that means there's not that many commercials if you have the cheaper package. Speaking of packages, let's talk about Bortus's. No, just kidding. Speaking of subscription packages, I saw today I got my auto charge for Netflix. Netflix costs like over $15 now. That's insane. For how often I watch Netflix, and Netflix only makes their own original stuff anymore, which I'm only interested in a little piece of it, of what they make. Over $15 for Netflix, might be time to get rid of Netflix. In my house, we watch way more Hulu and HBO Max, and actually, I watch a lot of Peacock, just because I love watching all the NBC stuff, The Office. The Office fan edition episodes, Parks and Recreation. They got a lot of shows. They got what's the alien show with Alan Tudyk? Resident Alien. They got all kinds of stuff on there. Oh, we got more spammers. All right, idiots. So stupid. There we go. They already got reported. I mean, I guess I could report them again. The bots are back again. I still think the design from Denal looked a bit like 2D space. I could see that with all the, remember from what was it, Newer Dimensions or New Dimensions? The 2D space, and she kind of had that design on her clothing. Totally. and Tron. I still think they could be connected. Yeah, we never learned anything about that two-dimensional space, did we? We just were able to see it. And they probably weren't even able to see the Orville because they're three-dimensional. Oh, good call. How do I do that? I thought I had subscriber mode. They must have subscribed. I'm pretty sure I already have subscriber mode. I don't know where to find that while streaming. AP Bio. I've seen a little bit of that show a long time ago, before Patton Oswalt took over. Resident Alien is coming back next month. Now, season 2, I haven't even finished season 2. I saw an episode or two back when they were first coming out. But then I just got caught up in the other stuff that's going on, making Orville stuff. I don't watch a lot of... I just watch the Orville and maybe a little Office before I go to bed. But I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. I'm too busy making Orville stuff. But I do plan on watching some TV once this season of the Orville is done. Yeah, Disney Plus I currently don't have, but I would like to watch what Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. So I might get it for 1 month. I haven't seen any of the Obi-Wan stuff. I was very interested in Obi-Wan, but I'm like, it's just another damn thing to watch. I'm okay. I'll watch it someday. I didn't even watch the Book of Boba Fett. I was like, another thing to watch, and it's all interconnected. There's a part of me that doesn't want to see Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness because they connect too much crap in the Marvel universe. There's way too much stuff to keep track of. It makes you a very tired fan to try to keep up with all this stuff. But I really like Doctor Strange. That first movie was really good. I like the character a lot, so I'll get Disney Plus for a month. If Kelly is helping Topa get in the Union Point, we are going to learn how fast Mocklins age. Well, Topa is older in this episode. This is an older, not a full adult, didn't even really look like a full teenager, but Topa is definitely a few years older. I wonder when their fast aging stops, or does it ever stop? I'm sure it slows down a little bit, like plenty of animals on our own planet, that are born and they just grow up so dang fast and then they kind of even out a little bit. Is it possible that Bortus is only 15, 16 years old, but they mature so quickly? Chad says, I just watched Gently Falling Rain. I'm late, but that was not a good episode to be seeing right now. Yeah, there's some issues being brought up there. They don't give you an answer. They'll just give you something to think about. That's how the Orville does their social commentary. But wow, yeah, a bad time. Imagine that episode was written years ago, and it finally came out, and the very next day, things exploded in the world. Yeah, Only Murders in the Building. I watched most of the first season of that, Curtis. Well, I don't think they have a second season yet, do they? Oh, they might. I think it might have just come out. Loved it, but I've been wanting to have time to get it, to sit down and really watch it. I think I watched 5 episodes as they were coming out last year. But yeah, I would like to really sit down and watch that show because, come on, Steve Martin, Martin Short, even Selena Gomez is pretty awesome. I like her style. Awesome show. I want to get back into that show, but I'm neck deep in the Orville. Pranakasha Productions, thank you so much. Hola to you as well. Thank you for stopping by, Matt. Matt from Pranakasha Productions. You guys check out his channel. He's got Egotastic Trek videos to check out, as well as a bunch of other stuff. The Sea Ticket, yes, it came out yesterday. The Murders in the Building. My girlfriend worked on it. Oh, that's awesome. Kathy talking to Michael Mitchell. Solar Opposites coming back next month. Resident Alien season 3 maybe next year. Now, Resident Alien is a great show for if you like the Orville. You are more than likely going to love Resident Alien as well. It is a Robert Duncan McNeil joint starring Alan Tudyk, and it's got the humor that's Orville style. It's got some great sci-fi stuff going on, some sci-fi questions. It holds a mirror up to our own society, and it's a very interesting point of view. So Opposites, I keep hearing great things about, but I have not checked it out yet. Yeah, chat emphasizes good episode, just bad timing. Bad timing on the Orville or for the Supreme Court. Archmage Frey, Egotastica. Mark Lawrence saying hi to Matt. Michael Mitchell, I would like to see Steve Martin and Chevy Chase do another Three Amigos like show. I think Chevy Chase is kind of hard to lock down, and a lot of people end up not enjoying working with him. I hear he can be trouble sometimes, but when he's not trouble, man, he's great to see. I always think. Yes, I agree, Archmage Frey. I wish they'd bring People of Earth back. People of Earth, if you guys haven't seen People of Earth, a very good comedic sci-fi show with heart. And I did not expect the heart to be there, but it is. And the 2 seasons, I believe it was 2 seasons, so good. They were renewed for a 3rd season, but then it got taken back. They decided, probably because COVID reasons, they decided not to renew it after it was already renewed. They said, no, never mind. Where can you buy this hat? I don't know if this hat is obtainable for purchase anywhere. This was made by the Orville production back in season 2. This is a season 2 hat that was given out to the production back then. This was given to me by a Fox affiliate, back when the Orville was on Fox. I don't know if these were ever made for sale, but the Hulu store has a lot of Orville stuff now. Lots of things you can get that's for the Orville. New merchandise, new products, so you can check and see what they have. The season 3 beanies, the Orville beanies, I think they actually have for sale. Michael Mitchell says, I love Resident Alien. It's based on the Dark Horse comic of the same name. Well, I've only seen the show, and it is great. So I assume that the Dark Horse comic is also great. Speaking of Dark Horse, they are also the makers of the Orville comic. They've come out great, drawn by Michael Atiyeh, and written by David A. Goodman, executive producer for the Orville. And those comics are meant to fill in all the gaps, more adventures, more stories that take place between the seasons and during the seasons. They're great, some great sci-fi going on, and you learn a little bit more about these characters. And it's soft canon, which means it applies to the Orville canon. I think there's a link down there somewhere to check out the comics if you want to. People that are usually here, we do some live readings of the comics. Speaking of live readings, I don't know if this will be live. It might be in increments, in segments. But the new Orville novella, Sympathy for the Devil, is coming out next month, July 19th. And it's written by Seth MacFarlane. It's the very first novella for the Orville, because we lost an episode this season. We were supposed to have 11 episodes. We were only getting 10. They had to shut down one. A little bit of COVID reasons, a little bit of geopolitical stuff going on as well in the part of the world that they were going to film this episode. So they weren't able to do it. They had to drop the episode as far as live action, but they thought the script was so good that Seth MacFarlane turned it into a novella coming out. I don't know if I have a link. There might be a link down there if you want to click on that and get it. Should I do a reading of the Orville Sympathy for the Devil, the lost episode that we're still getting just in book form? I don't know if it's 120 pages. I don't know how long that would take to perform. So I might just film it in segments, come out with a part 1, a part 2 type of thing. But if you guys are interested in that, I will totally do it. And I'm looking here, it is almost time to end this stream, and I want you guys to really enjoy tonight's episode, or tomorrow, or the next day, whichever day you decide to watch it. The latest episode of the Orville, A Tale of Two Topas. Brian Dawkins mentions JP has a very rare Making History promotional items. I do. For the show Making History, which it came out for 1 season the year before the Orville came out. Great time travel series with a lot of the humor from the Orville's first season. You will feel like you're watching Gordon Malloy go through time, even though it's not Gordon. It's not Scott Grimes. It's another guy, but he's a Gordon type. Check out Making History. They did 1 season. It was so freaking good. It got canceled because people just can't handle time travel, you guys. Audiences can't handle it. But check it out. But yeah, I have they time travel in this bag, and I have a little miniature copy of that bag. It's like a tote bag, but it's the same one from the show. Pranakasha Productions, hell yeah, with JP's amazing voices. Yeah, I'll be performing voices as well. In that episode, actually, to me, it looks like it takes place in World War II Nazi Germany, so I can do a lot of other types of voices for the characters. All right, you guys, I will see you tomorrow with my first impressions video of A Tale of Two Topas, and then we should be scheduled for Friday, unless the world blows up again, scheduled for Friday to do another live show, 2 live shows this week, talking about the episode after we've seen it. We'll know what it's all about, and we're going to talk about it. I'll see you guys very soon, and as always, I hope all your times are Orville-tastic fun times, because we all do better when we all do better. Love you, bye-bye. Darmok channel, thank you so much.